Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of May 17, Friday. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin today's rush with another alleged irregularity in this year's midterm polls. An election watch group exposed the existence of Meet Me rooms that may have caused the delay in the transmission of results. Faith Telmundo will tell us more.
Members of a group called the Automated Election System, or AES Watch, brought up so-called Meet Me rooms, which they say host undeclared servers that intercept data, as it is transmitted from vote counting machines to COMELEC servers. The AES Watch says Meet Me rooms are not covered by the Omnibus Election Code.
Meron po ba yung Technical Evaluation Committee certification? Naabisuhan po ba yung ating COMELEC Advisory Council? So, tahimik po ang ating komisyon regarding this queuing server or itong Meet Me room.
In a text message, Commissioner Louis Guia said their system has been certified internationally and its source code reviewed by IT experts. Director Jimenez emphasized that the Meet Me room is not an undeclared or separate server, nor does it affect the data or votes.
It's not a separate server. No? Transmission router yan, gateway. So it's a way of making sure na manage yung flow ng data coming from the field, coming from the VCMs, into the transparency server.
But the AES Watch says no joint congressional oversight committee has talked about Meet Me rooms.
Meron mang sinasabi ang Commission on Election na meron mga political parties o merong mga kandidato na kinakita itong Meet Me room, ay wala pong pinag-uusapan dyan sa Joint Congressional Oversight Committee.
The COMELEC is prepared to show their audit log for votes transmitted to their servers, especially after another glitch caused a 7-hour lapse in the vote tally last Monday. However, the COMELEC insists there is no reason to suspend the proclamation of winning candidates.
It's a little difficult to imagine that the entire elections will be suspended essentially because of speculation.
Meanwhile, a video of alleged pre-shading of ballots has gone viral online. In the video, a person is shown shading different ballots and the caption indicated it occurred in Lanao del Sur. But according to the COMELEC, there is not enough evidence to prove the video's authenticity. But they encourage the video uploader to come forward and file a complaint.
We're not dismissing it as fake. We're not ready to make that determination yet. Alamin muna natin yung detalye ng video.
For News 5, Faith Del Mundo, we are One News.
The COMELEC is nearly 80% done with its canvassing of election returns, and we're still seeing a bit of disparity with the results in the unofficial count. Now, as of Thursday night, COMELEC has canvassed 129 out of 162 certificates of canvass. Partial and unofficial or official count shows the same candidates on the top of the leaderboard, re-electionist Senators Cynthia Villar and Grace Poe. Bongo still is at third, same in the unofficial tally that we have. Taguig Representative Pia Cayetano following close, also with a little over 15 million votes. Former top cop Bato de la Rosa at the 5th spot above Senator Sonny Angara. Lito Lapid comes in at 7th spot with 12.6 million votes. Amy Marcos with roughly the same number, while Francis Tolentino is still fixed on the 9th spot. Senators Coco Pimentel and Nancy Binay, same as in the unofficial tally, occupy the bottom part of the official count. But now we've got Bam Aquino still in the Magic 12 with 11 million votes, almost tied with Binay. Now we've also yet to see if this difference will be sorted out soon once COMELEC wraps up its canvassing. Now the poll body sitting as the National Board of Canvassers will convene later 9 a.m. to resume canvassing. Senate President Tito Sotto insists that the upper chamber will maintain its independence even though President Duterte's allies are set to dominate the 18th Congress. Sotto says a so-called supermajority does not ensure easier passage for admin-backed agenda. Diel de Vera has the story.
A Senate supermajority is now said to be looming, with most of the incoming senators being allies of the administration. The opposition has now been trimmed to just 4 senators. But Senate President Tito Sotto assured the public of an independent Senate.
First of all, ang leadership, hindi ka partido ng presidente. We would like to maintain, and if our leadership is retained, we would like to maintain an independent, transparent, and sincere Senate, like what we have done in the 17th Congress. Ganun pa rin ang i-maintain namin na kung let's say sabihin mo, dahil gusto ng presidente, ganitong batas, kung talagang mabuti naman at maganda, bakit hindi?
Regarding the chamber's leadership, Sotto said his colleagues have pledged support for him to stay as Senate President.
When Manny Pacquiao called me 2 days ago, what he was saying was that he was proposing that the leadership be retained. At kausap na rin doon niya si Bong, si Bato, and Francis, I think.
Anong sagot, sir?
Sabi niya, gusto namin, pareho pa rin.
The ruling party, PDP Laban, has made no intention of regaining the Senate leadership, although they are gunning for the House speakership. PDP Laban's campaign manager, Senator Manny Pacquiao, said they have not finalized their candidates for the speakership, although former Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez have already expressed his desire to reclaim his former role.
Katulad ng sabi natin, magkakaroon tayo ng pag-uusap dyan, discussion about sa Senate President or in speakership sa Congress. Sa ngayon, tapusin mo natin maproklama lahat ng mga kandidato ng PDP at saka natin pag-usapan yung mga bagay na yan.
Another ally of the President, Nationalista Party's Alan Peter Cayetano, who was proclaimed Taguig representative, has also openly expressed his intention to be the House Speaker. Antique Congresswoman-elect Loren Legarda is also expected to throw her hat. For News 5, Dale De Vera, we are One News.
With administration bets leading this year's senatorial race, Senate President Tito Sotto says there might be a greater support for the restoration of death penalty. He said restoring capital punishment may be one of the top priorities of the 18th Congress. That's after admitting his support for death penalty, at least for high-level drug traffickers. But despite the administration's advantage, the palace insists that the decision lies in the Congress alone.
Palaging depende sa kanila yan. If they share the president's stand on death penalty, then they will be voting in favor.
Do you welcome it, sir, yung statement na ganito ni Senate President?
Lahat naman yan welcome, basta pabor sa bayan. That will depend again on the members of Congress. If they feel that they should pass it immediately, then they will.
Thousands of Filipinos residing in Canada may soon no longer have an ambassador. That's on the back of the Philippines scaling back its diplomatic presence in Canada after Canada failed to take back its trash on May 15. The North American country dumped more than 100 shipping containers filled with household trash in the Philippines 5 years ago. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin tweeted that the Philippine ambassadors will be sent back only after the trash is shipped back to Canada. Meanwhile, Malacanang has expressed its support to Locsin's pronouncement. The PNPA insists that the death of one of its cadets was due to the hot weather and was not a hazing incident. That's after PNP spokesperson Bernard Abata confirmed that the death of the 21-year-old Al-Rashid Pendatun Makadato. And the PNPA says Makadato was in the middle of an afternoon run when he suddenly collapsed and died of heat stroke. Despite this, the Academy is still conducting further investigation and assured that assistance will be provided for the cadet's family. Now, just how hot was yesterday's weather? Pag-asa data shows heat index in Dagupan City reached 46.8 degrees Celsius. Now, other parts of the country recorded almost similar figures. Don't forget to stay hydrated, as some parts of Luzon may again experience hot summer weather today, with heat indices breaching the 40 degrees Celsius mark. Contributing to the hot weather is the high-pressure area affecting the eastern section of Luzon. But still, bring your umbrellas with you as isolated rain showers and thunderstorms are still possible throughout the country. Meanwhile, here are the biggest stories from the dailies. Now that the voting period is done, Meralco warns a series of power interruptions in Luzon due to maintenance progress and upgrades in its facilities. Meralco says as early as this weekend, Manila, Quezon City, San Juan, Mandaluyong, and Pasig will experience brownouts. Now the same goes for certain areas in Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, and Quezon. President Duterte has fired Food and Administration Director Nela Sharade Puno for alleged corruption. Health Undersecretary Eric Domingo, meanwhile, has been directed to take over as officer in charge. Malacanang has yet to give further details about its corruption accusation against Puno. Recall that last year, Puno survived an ambush in Camarines Norte after the provincial capital passed an ordinance requiring establishments to secure FDA clearance before they can get a business license. It's the same old Philippine companies making it to the Forbes latest Global 2000 list, a compilation of the world's biggest, most powerful, and valuable public firms. SM Business has indeed got it all for you, with BDO leading the local pack at the 1,018th spot, followed by SM Investments. Drinks up, San Miguel Corporation's biggest holding firm, Top Frontier Investment, rose 14 spots to the 1,196th place. Philippines' oldest conglomerate, Ayala Corporation, retains its place in Forbes' list. Metro Bank is the fifth local company to make it, ranking at the 1,639th spot. And JG Summit, which owns Robinsons, URC, and Cebu Pacific, finally rounds up the list of local firms included in Forbes' list, coming in at the 1,720th spot. Fisher folks in Zambales take a brunt of the damage caused by the oil spill in the area. Now, instead of a bountiful catch, they are left with less than a handful of fish to feed their families. Shaila Francisco has this report.
Bonifacio tried catching krill early Thursday morning, but after 2 hours, he only got a handful, not even a fourth of what he would normally get. He says before the oil spill occurred in Barangay Bangan, Botolan, Zambales, he can still fill this whole basket.
Di sila makalutang dahil nasa yung ibabaw, nasa ibabaw po yung oil spill. Sana matanggal siguro sana yung oil spill para baka lulutang ulit yung alamang. Para may panggastos sa pang araw-araw. Susubukan pa rin, try and try.
Bakit?
Baka makaswerte ho.
This is the site where the oil from this dredging vessel spilled last week. But up until now, there are still traces of oil and residents continue to be affected.
The local government, along with the Environment Department and the Philippine Coast Guard, inspected the site where the Tanzania-registered vessel is located. Botolan Mayor Bing Maniquez revealed that the vessel has not applied for a permit to dock and dredge from the local government.
Walang nagpapaalam sa amin Tapos nga nung inutusan ko ang aming task force na magtanong kung bakit sila nandyan, kung ano ang documents nila, walang kumausap sa kanila at panay sabi no English, hindi sila kakaintindi daw ng English. So walang nakipag-coordinate.
However, the vessel's Filipino coordinator disagrees. He says he has not received information to dredge in Botolan. The vessel was just instructed to stay in the waters of Botolan, Zambales after they finished dredging in Olongapo. A permit from DNR shows the dredging was for a flood mitigation project.
Sa permit naman ma'am, kumpleto kami ng permit. May mga permit kami ng ma'am. Pero yung sa dredging ma'am, hindi naman po kasi dredging ang pinunta namin dito.
For now, the Philippine Coast Guard has issued an apprehension report to the vessel and has taken on water samples for further investigation. The vessel will stay in Tanza, Cavite for now. The local government, for its part, is waiting for the PCG's report to determine how it would penalize the vessel. Meanwhile, another desilting vessel, believed to be transferring sand to Singapore, has been spotted since April. The local government says they're keeping a close watch on its operations despite the company holding permits from national government agencies and the provincial government.
Sa may ilog dapat. Kaya nga lang kami sa munisipyo, Kahit na anong gawin naming monitoring, hindi rin kami pinapakinggan. Ang nangyayari, doon silang kumukuha sa lapit na ng isment ng ilog. Dapat sa gitna ng ilog. Kaso doon sila kumukuha sa gilid na ng ilog, papunta na ng barangay. Nauubos yung nauubos yung lupa namin.
The LGU will review the permits of all vessels in the area to prevent a similar catastrophe from happening again. Shaila Francisco, WR 1 News.
Binibining Pilipinas candidates have about 3 weeks to prepare for the coronation night on June 9. But in between practices, the girls make it to a point to have some fun. After all, who wants to work and no play, right? Now, the candidates visited the PLDT head office in Makati on Thursday to play games and answer questions from the media. The girls say that after Miss Universe Catriona Gray's win last December, the bar has been set higher. The candidates were also generous enough to share some beauty tips.
I use spray net as a highlighter. Pero sobrang sakit niya kasi sa balat. So hindi ko siya inaaraw-araw. Pag yung special event lang talaga.
Swimsuit, yung bikini mo sa may butt, kailangan mo spray para kumapit siya sa may butt. Para pag nag-walk ka, hindi siya...
And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.